We've been talking about key principles of situational leadership, and the ideas have come from Ken Blanchard in his book, Leadership in the 1 Minute Manager. And we've already talked about the different developmental levels. And what you see here is those levels. You've got the enthusiastic beginner who is high in commitment but low in competence and skill. You've got the overwhelmed intermediate who is low in both. You've got the cautiously advanced. Their competence, their skill set is really high, but their confidence is still not where it needs to be. Their commitment is not there. And then finally, you've got the confident expert who's high in both their competency and in their commitment. In part two, we're going to talk about the leadership styles that we use to address the developmental levels. Remember, in part one, we talked about sitting down with that person and talking with them and agreeing upon their developmental level, whether they are a beginner or perhaps intermediate, advanced, or an expert. And there are four approaches. The first is directing, the second is coaching, the third is supporting, and the final one is delegating. So what we have here again is this another quadrant. Rather than commitment and competence, so we have support and directedness. This is about the approach that we take. A high support, high directiveness is a coaching style. A high directiveness but a low support is called directing. A low support and low directiveness is called delegating. And the high support but low directiveness is called supporting. We'll talk about each one of these individually. Leadership style number one is directing, and typically this is used for an enthusiastic beginner. Remember, they don't know where they're doing, so they need clear instructions, structured steps, close supervision. You can't just tell them, go do this. You have to show them and you have to guide them in what they're doing. Remember, they're brand new at this. You're hands-on. You're overseeing them on a regular basis. And when it says low support, it doesn't mean that you don't watch over them and encourage them. It means that they're excited about it. Support is addressing their emotional state. It does not mean that you're not watching them closely. It means that you do not have to provide a lot of push or motivation because they're already highly motivated and excited. Here's some notes for someone who's managing someone who is an enthusiastic beginner. Break things into small, manageable steps. Tell them exactly what to do, how to do it, and when it's due, by when. Monitor progress closely and give frequent, specific feedback. You don't just say you're doing that wrong. You say, well, if you do this differently, and you teach them, you train them. Appreciate their effort and initiative, even if the results aren't perfect. People who are new at something never do it perfectly. And so when they make progress, you help them out by encouraging them. Set them up for quick wins and success. Set the bar low. Celebrate the milestones they make. Move from here to here. They move from this level of skill to that level of skill. Help them build confidence and a solid foundation. Remember, they're new at this, and so you want to celebrate small wins. The second style is the coaching style, and this style is best fit for those who are overwhelmed intermediates. Remember, they've made mistakes, so they're not as motivated, not as committed as they need to be. They don't have the skill set quite to be an expert yet. So you want to build them in their skill, and you want to build them in their confidence. So you provide high direction. They still need clear guidance and structure because they're not fully competent yet, and high support. They need more encouragement and reassurance. They will want your involvement in decision making to help strengthen and rebuild their confidence and motivation. Some managers' tips for you on this. Make sure you explain the why behind the task. Why am I doing this? What does it contribute to that's bigger than this moment? Why is this so important to the organization? Give them the why to give them more motivation so they'll fully understand the context and the purpose. Second, break things down into step-by-step moments and monitor their progress. You're going to watch over them more closely. Remember, they made mistakes before, and you don't want them to make mistakes that discourage them again. So help them out and watch over them. Offer regular praise for their effort and even their partial successes. Be consistent with positive feedback as well as constructive feedback. Involve them in discussions, in problem solving. Help them build their understanding and their ownership of what you're trying to accomplish. And then finally, show them patience. They've already fallen, they've already made mistakes before. You want to build their confidence and build their competence as well. This is often the most emotionally delicate developmental level of the four we talk about in these trainings. The third leadership style is the supporting style. This style normally is best fits for those who are cautiously advanced. Remember, we think that their competency, their skill set is very high, their experience is very good, but their confidence, their commitment is low, their motivation is what's struggling. You need to build their confidence. But in this case, you give them low direction about the task. They don't need to be told what to do very often. They should already know what to do, how to do it. Instead, you're a high support structure. They need someone who will listen, encourage, and help build their confidence. Managers' notes for this are to ask questions to help them think through challenges and come to their own solutions. Again, you're not directing, you're not telling them what to do. You're helping them think for themselves so they can do it on their own later on. Empower them, but watch them closely. Reinforce their skill set, their competence, and remind them of past wins and current progress. Learn to give them a little more decision-making authority while staying available as a sounding board. In other words, you want them to begin to make decisions on their own, but you want to help them make the right decisions. How do I do that? Help them to reconnect with the why behind their work, to re-spark motivation. Remind them that they're making a difference. Remind them that what they're doing is going to result in something great. Give them something bigger than the moment to focus on in this situation. The fourth leadership style is delegating. Again, this style normally fits a confident expert, someone who has been there and done that, someone who has done this over and over and over again and understands the importance of that. In this case, you would be low direction. They don't need to be told how to do what the work, and you can be confident to empower them, step back, and observe the outcomes. It's not that you don't check in with them, but you don't direct them and you don't over engage yourself in their work. It's also low support. They don't need very emotional boost or hand holding, though recognition is always welcome. You say thank you, you say way to go, you say I knew I could count on you to do this, I have great confidence in you. Low support does not mean a lack of care. Manager's notes for this delegating style is provide a clear goal and a desired outcome, and then give them space to work. You can be confident to give them more and more freedoms. Over time, they'll prove themselves over and over again, and soon you won't have to think about it because you just know this person is a confident expert. They're going to get the job done. Make sure they have the needed authority with the level of responsibility they've earned. In other words, they have to have the decision-making power to make the decisions. You don't have to interact with them at levels you don't want to because you've given them the responsibility and the authority at the level they need. Trust them to handle details, decisions, and timelines, but make sure you hold them accountable. Real accountability, real delegation is not just handing something off. You still have to oversee it. You still have to make sure the goals are met, the timelines are met. Be available as needed, but do your best not to micromanage. A micromanager comes in and uses their skills to do things when the person they're overseeing already has those skills. That can be frustrating and discouraging. You don't want to discourage this person because they're a very important part of your team. And finally, celebrate results and provide opportunities for continued growth or new challenges. Competent experts need new challenges all the time. Give them authority, give them responsibility, give them hope, give them encouragement, and let them use their skills for you. I want you to think right now of the people in your organization and how are you leading them? How are you helping them? What leadership style are you using in their lives? Are you coaching? Are you delegating? Are you directing? Are you supporting? And is it the right style for who they are?